when I look around at what other teams are doing and trying to do to find their head coach, if Jason Garrett had been out on the market 2 weeks ago, he would have had 5 offers for head coaching. I know that. So you've got to look at what your alternative is.
That's Jerry Jones on 105.3 The Fan on Tuesday, pumping up his head coach, Jason Garrett, by claiming that if Garrett had been available, there would be 5 offers for his services. And, Chris, I throw your challenge flag on that. I've been saying that a lot lately. You know, you say it for the last 2 years, and it finally sticks. So I'm throwing the challenge flag on Jerry Jones. Here's why. 4 years ago, after the notorious Des Cottet game, Jason Garrett became a free agent, and nobody else offered him a job. Everybody knew his contract was expiring at the end of the season. The season ended after the divisional round, and it was just re-up with the Cowboys. He didn't want to leave, but no one came after him. So I don't buy this idea that 5 teams would have wanted him. If anything, Garrett is viewed almost like a Mike McCarthy, where the offense is too inflexible. There's no creativity. There's no adjustments. We heard the stories, and Jerry Jones confirmed yesterday that they had the code cracked as it relates to their defensive alignment, and that all goes back to coaching. So I don't buy that 5 teams would have wanted him, and all due respect, I'm not sure anyone would have.
Yeah, I mean, I respect Jerry Jones' loyalty to Jason Garrett, but I mean, I'm with you there. I mean, that's BS. I'm throwing the challenge flag on that as well. I mean, 5 teams after Jason Garrett, that's ridiculousness. Say maybe there had been a team that would have danced and flirted with him, but yeah, I think your Mike McCarthy comparison is very fair, to where fan bases would have been like, really? We're going to bring this guy in, and, you know, he's only won 2 playoff games, and all those things would have came up, and yeah, I'm not buying it.
All right. Now, during that same interview, and as a response to what Jerry Jones said regarding the desirability that would apply to Jason Garrett, Jones was asked, for the record, what this means for the future of Jason Garrett in Dallas. Here's what Jones had to say. Listen very carefully.
Why would I put some kind of statement out that says this is what we're going to do when we might have an opportunity here next week? This is the time when these things are thought about. This is the time when they're chewed on. This is the time when you may see an opportunity next week you didn't know existed this week in the area of personnel or in the area of coaching. And I'm not trying to be cute here. I'm just saying that one of the advantages that we have is that we can operate with that kind of flexibility.
Jerry's not trying to be cute, but Jerry, you're being
ahead.
beautiful there because you have tipped your hand.
Yeah.
Well, unless they are in the process of cloning Sean McVay, and the experiment won't be over until next week. Like, what other circumstance changes from this week to next week? Here's what changes. Coaches who are currently employed and, you know, working become available when their seasons end. And this isn't an assistant coach. This is the long-rumored connection between, and there is a real friendship between Jerry Jones and Sean Payton. And there's been plenty of speculation about Sean Payton's future. And I know that Sean Payton has been upset in the past when people throw his name out there as potentially leaving New Orleans. But Jones is the one who's essentially thrown his name out there because that's who he's talking about, Chris. That's the opportunity that may be there next week. If the Saints lose to the Rams on Sunday, all of a sudden, here's Sean Payton. I mean, why else would you not say, of course, Jason Garrett's our head coach? Because there is a chance with the bird in the hand to hold on to that bird in the hand just for a week, because the 2 in the bush may be available in the form of Sean Payton.
Yeah, I mean, when I heard the quote, that's exactly what I thought of as well. I mean, when he said there might be an opportunity next week, as in if the Saints lose to the Rams, there might be this coach that's maybe looking to change sides. I mean, I guess, yes, we've always, like you said, have heard rumors of Sean Payton and the relationship with the Dallas Cowboys, and he had worked there before. And the Dallas Cowboys is always one of those bright, shiny objects that any head coach is like, wow, it would be pretty cool to be the head coach of America's team. They certainly do have their own aura and, fan base all around the country. So I find it hard to believe that Sean Payton would leave New Orleans right now, because they are built to be back in this same position next year. But in one of these years, he's probably going to be thinking, all right, this has got to be Drew Brees' last year, or maybe I need to get out of Dodge at some point. So I'm with you, and I kind of thought the same thing, but I just can't imagine Sean Payton leaving the Saints right now after some of the struggles they've had, and now he's built them up to be a perennial Super Bowl contender really right now, and he's got the organization right where he wants it.
I agree with you, but from Jerry Jones' perspective, he must think it's sufficiently real, or at least the door is cracked a little bit that maybe after this week, maybe Breeze does walk away. Who knows? But here's the other factor that I think is swirling around in Jerry Jones' mind.
Yeah.
He better be ready to jump on Sean Payton before Sean Payton gets jumped on by the Browns, because I think that is something to be keeping an eye on in the future. And I think they decided to keep Freddie Kitchens because, look, it worked well last year. Let's see how it plays out. If it doesn't work, we can always hire somebody else. And maybe the door opens for Peyton in Cleveland before Jerry has a chance to yank him through the door to Dallas. So, hey, Jerry, aggressive businessman, and he knows what he wants, and he goes and gets it, and he throws whatever money on the table is necessary to get Sean Payton to bite. And now, good luck complying with the Rooney Rule. And Jerry Jones went down this road 15 years ago when he hired Bill Parcells and did a phone interview of Dennis Green just so he could check the box. And the league said you can't do phone interviews in the future; it has to be in person. But if everyone will know what he's doing if he fires Jason Garrett next week if the Saints lose on Sunday, because he essentially said it yesterday without saying it.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Is he looking at an Eric Bieniemy? Is there an assistant that maybe we're missing? I'm just throwing, food for thought out there. But obviously, yes, he's not making this statement. They are in evaluation mode as far as where they want to see the future of their organization going. And he hasn't given Jason Garrett that last stamp of approval to say, you're here and you're the guy for the next few years or whatever it may be. And they are thinking about it. The Jones family's having some meetings.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.